Good evening everybody, I'm Fictional Crystals, and we have another Season 7 trailer. At this year's San Diego Comic-Con, the first episode of Voltron Legendary Defender Season 7 premiered. Along with that premiere came two new trailers. One of the trailers you can view on DreamWorks' YouTube channel, the other was exclusive to the San Diego Comic-Con panel, which is the one I'm going to be analysing in this video. So let's get started. Firstly, we got Voltron looking at a bright light. This light is likely from the same place as what we saw in the other trailer. I'll be discussing this energy place more in depth later in the video. The next shot is also in space. Since we don't have an HD version of this trailer, this is very blurry. From what I can tell from this picture, those orbs appear to be being sucked into this orange vortex. Next we see a green vortex with Galra ships outside it. This vortex appeared in the other trailer we got. Hunk was escaping the Galra by going towards it. He and the other Paladins might have gotten sucked in, which is why we can slightly see some green outside of Lance's Lion in the other trailer. The Galra ships follow them there. Next we see a power core. The power core looks a lot like the crystal the castle became. Thanks to the first episode of Season 7, we know that the lions need recharging. They can recharge naturally, but it takes a long time. The way they recharged them before was through the Castle of Lions. In Season 7's first episode, Coran tries to find another way to recharge the lions. It involves a Yelmore, and while his method will probably work, it's not a permanent solution. The Yelmore solution is a 1 or 2 time thing. The lions need recharging after every battle, every time they form Voltron. Alora's alchemy could possibly work to power them, except then it would drain her. What they need to charge Voltron is the Castle of Lions. And luckily, they got it. The castle's crystal can power Voltron, and that's what we're seeing here. Many versions of Voltron came before Legendary Defender. If I am remembering correctly, in some older versions of Voltron, Voltron was powered by a crystal. I need to go back and skim through the older episodes to confirm if this is true or not, but I'm pretty sure Voltron did use a power crystal. Again, I can't give 100% confirmation on that, since I have to go through all the 80s episodes to find it again. I know in Voltron Force there was the Nexus. Either way, we've seen various crystals power various things in Voltron Legendary Defender before. Now the castle's crystal can power Voltron. They don't need breaks to recharge the lions with this. The Castle of Lions will always be with them. Next, Shiro has a new arm. At first glance, it looks similar to his old one, but take a closer look near his shoulder. This arm has a yellow glow to it, suggesting that this is a floating arm. Okay, not really floating, but there's visible energy between the metal parts. It's basically the same as the prosthetic arms Sendak has had. Sendak did say they were connected back in Season 1.
We're connected, you and me. Just look at your hand.
It's hard to tell where Shiro is when he gets the new arm. This arm certainly isn't an evil Galra/evil Druid/evil Onerva creation. Shiro isn't struggling, nor is he strapped down. Just judging by the grey background with the light, he might be in the Galaxy Garrison. Next is a shot of the current 5 Paladins in a Galra base. After that, the Druids make a return. I'm sorry, the first thing I thought of when I saw this scene was...
Start the sacrificial fire!
It looks like they are on Earth. The Blade of Marmora are there too. Fire is rising up from the ground. Hopefully we'll be finding out what the Druids really are soon. Are they Altans, dark quintessence creatures, or an entirely new species, or simply just more of Onerva's illusions? We've seen how many creatures she can create. Imagine if they can convert other people into Druids. Could Onerva have converted dark creatures or Altans into Druids? Could she do that with the Altans from the colony? Use quintessence to make Druids? Ranvig used the Altans' potent quintessence to make this super weapon, so I mean. And I speculate that Onerva made naughty. The Druids served Onerva. Onerva now is more powerful than ever. She has the ability to create wormholes of her own. Through the other trailer, we know Sendak arrives on Earth before the Paladins do. Onerva can easily make it there as well in a short period of time, either before or after she's through dealing with the colony. If the Druids are still loyal to her, they'll do what she says. She said she harbors no maternal instincts for Lotor.
Instinct I may have had for my one and only child.
But I don't believe that entirely. She did care for him, she did love him. You can tell by the way she reacted to finding out that she's his mother, the way she responded when she found out Zarkon was going to kill him, the way she kept watching over him, and now it's been confirmed that she did love him by people that work on the show. Team Voltron destroyed something that she loved. They took what she loved away from her, she takes what they love away from them, the Earth and their families. It's implied Sendak became the Emperor after Lotor went. If the Druids are now loyal to him instead, he'll still want to use them to his advantage advantage on Earth. Team Voltron is going to need all the help they can get for the Earth fight. They got the Galaxy Garrison, the Blair Marmora, and the Rebels will probably join too. Just judging by the grey, orange, and white, this guy is on a Galaxy Garrison ship and is wearing Galaxy Garrison clothes. There's a particle barrier outside of the exit. If I change up the brightness and saturation a bit, you can see that part of his right arm is gone, and his right shoulder is unnaturally shaped. And take a look at his right hand. He also has a muscular build, suggesting that this is probably Shiro, just based off of his build and right arm. As we saw earlier in the trailer, the upper half of Shiro's right arm is now energy, and the lower half is metal. The Paladins on their way to Earth, and some of the buildings on Earth. Earth was in danger before the Paladins arrived. The Galra have already done severe damage to parts of it. The vision Keith had in the Blair Marmora turned out to be right. Seeing the Earth destroyed in Legendary Defender reminds me of the original versions of Voltron, the show's Legendary Defender originated from. Keith's probably in a Galaxy Garrison vehicle, or his old hovercycle. How's the Black Line flying without Keith in it? The two most likely options are either A. Shiro's piloting it, or B. Keith called the Black Lion to him. Keith's been able to get his lions to come to him before. He didn't need to be inside his lions to get them to move. When he was Red's Paladin, Red flew to him without anyone inside it, and the Black Lion came to save him in Season 6. Though Shiro's consciousness was inside it during that time, my point is, lions can come to Paladins without anyone being inside them. All it takes is a Paladin's mind. Zarkon did it too. If Shiro is piloting the lion, it means there's more line switching. I doubt it to be anything as drastic as Season 3's line switches. Just the Paladins are more flexible with who flies what. It depends on who's available to fly what lion. In Defender of the Universe, even after Allura was an established pilot of a lion, Shiro's counterpart Sven stepped in for her when she couldn't on an occasion.
It's me! I'm back!
Honestly, Shiro needs time to rest and work out what's happening with Adam, but if Allura's busy with the colony or building a new castle of lions, maybe they will need the Season 1 Paladin lineup, temporarily at least. In the other trailer, there was a pink Bayard. Allura just used the blue Bayard before, but if they're more flexible with who flies what lion, maybe they each need a Bayard at hand at all times. Just in case, 5 Bayards isn't enough for 6 Paladins. Personally, I'm rather happy with the current Paladin setup. Allura's got a close bond with Blue, thanks to another scene in this trailer. I think Lance will be gaining a closer bond with Red too, and Keith no doubt has a very strong bond with Black. He's developed so much since he first enrolled in the Galaxy Garrison. He's grown into the leader he needs to be. I think it would be kind of weird to take away those bonds from the three of them at this point in time. Shiro's never exactly needed to develop into the role of a leader over the course of the series. He was already great at it at the beginning of the show, whereas these three did have to develop into their roles over the course of the series. However, there are other things Shiro can develop with/deal with, repercussions of past events that affected him. But I can understand if some line switches are necessary. What with everything that's going on? A certain Paladin feeling insecure about their role on the team, another having many responsibilities, and another that's kind of flip-flopping between okay and not okay. For a fair amount of their journey at least, these 5 will be the main ones piloting the lions. In the original, after he stopped piloting a lion, Shiro/Sven still helped Team Voltron on their missions, along with Rommel. Even without a lion, he was helpful. In Legendary Defender, Allura didn't pilot a lion for a long time, yet she did a lot of work. Even though Shiro might not be piloting a lion for a good chunk of the season, he's still going to be a vital part of the team. Coran as well. He's dealt with the Galra and can help the Galaxy Garrison deal with them too. I'm pretty much fine with whatever Paladin lineup they decide to go with. Although it's a really, really long shot, I'd be okay if this was Lance and the Black Lion though. This is a shot from the first episode. Voltron's flying through an energy field. It's the same energy field we see from the other trailer. The energy changes color, white, purple, red. Voltron is struggling to get through it. Either the lions weren't strong enough to get through it apart, so they formed Voltron, or the energy split up Voltron like the trailer made it seem. It's hard to say what the energy is, but I have suspicions. It could be a shortcut to somewhere, for instance Earth, or be connected to one of us/Altans, something like the White Lion, or connected to the Rift/alternate realities, or it's related to the goddess of the universe from Beast King Lion. In Defender of the Universe, the goddess was supposedly Haggar, but in Lion, the goddess had energy powers. She split Voltron up into 5 lions, and she gave them energy. This looks almost exactly the same as one of the goddess's scenes from the original, and this energy ball also looks a lot like something from one of the goddess's episodes. Could there be a relation between these things? Could the goddess be connected to the ancient Altans/Lifegivers/White Lion, or Allura, or the Rift?
Lion goddess?
The one the ancients spoke of.
Haggar could be involved with this like she was in Defender of the Universe, and in one of the Goddesses episodes in Cone Lion. Onerva can do some pretty powerful stuff. The Paladins end up outside of their lions during this energy thing. So all of these scenes, and possibly this scene, are from the same episodes / couple episodes long arc. It's just Alora, Keith, Lance, Pidge, and Hunk. The others who were traveling with them aren't there. Either they got dropped off somewhere, this happens after they already been to Earth, or they're just waiting inside of the lions. The Galra have a new powerful weapon that it looks like they're going to use on Earth. We can see this weapon again in one of the Season 7 stills. It's behind destroyed Earth buildings and the Red Lion. The Galaxy Garrison also have a big ship they can fight with, Atlas as it's called. It's holding its own against the Galra ships. There are 2 people outside of the ship. Imagine what the Galra must think of humans. First, the person that beat someone thought unbeatable in the Gladiator Arena is a human and earned the name champion, and most of the Paladins are humans. And now humans are fighting back against the Galra. Garrison cadets are stepping up to fight the Galra. In the original, there was a vehicle Voltron team, which Pidge's brother was a part of. They were connected to the Garrison in the original. Perhaps they'll be referenced in the new version. And in one of the more recent Voltron versions, there were significant Galaxy Garrison cadets. The significant Galaxy Garrison cadet out of these 4 is this one. His name is James Griffin. He went to school with Keith before they were both enrolled in the Galaxy Garrison. He bullied Keith about his parents, and he was the kid Keith beat up in front of his whole class, including Hunk and Lance. They saw what happened. I can't wait to see James's face once Keith returns. He would have known that Keith got booted from the Garrison. Seeing him return leading the Defender of the Universe, in this colourful armour with a sword, a cosmic wolf, and his Galra mother, James is going to be so shocked. Keith's much more emotionally and physically stronger now. He's in a good place mentally. He doesn't need to listen to James. They could end up working things out, unless Keith just ends up putting James in his place. Imagine Iverson's face when he sees the Defenders of the Universe in person. The Red Lion's blaster has returned. Unless they did end up going with more line switching, Lance ended up unlocking one of Red's weapons. This weapon hasn't been seen since Keith was Red's Paladin. Green's fighting the Galra too. The generals are back, and they're looking quite different. Their uniforms have totally changed. There's a lot more white on them now. Acxa's hair is longer, and Zethrid's missing an eye. In the other trailer, Acxa says the Paladins haven't been seen since their fight with Lotor.
No one has seen you since your fight with Lotor.
So everyone that was helping us thinks we're dead.
Everyone thought they were dead. For everyone to think that, it implies that a fair amount of time has passed since their fight with Lotor. Not too long ago, Kimberly Brooks, Alora's voice actress, spoiled that the Paladins sleep for a long time. While they're asleep, time passes and stuff changes. Like potentially who the generals serve. A time skip would explain the drastic differences, and why it's been a while since everyone else in the universe has seen the Paladins. The other trailer makes it seem like they're okay with the Paladins now, since Acxa's talking to them. But what if before going to the Paladins, they ended up on someone else's side? Lotor's gone, they betrayed Onerva, and they're on many Galra's death lists. But maybe there was someone out there willing to take them in aside from Team Voltron, explaining why they look different and they have uniform changes. If this is before they're on talking terms with the Paladins are likely who they're fighting here. Perhaps the Galra base we see the Paladins in earlier in the trailer is where the generals are, except the lighting and colors don't match up, unless that's just due to the trailer quality. Though another explanation for the different uniforms, missing eye and long hair, is that these are the generals from another reality. Alternate reality Shiro, aka Sven, had longer hair and a different uniform. Aside from that episode with the alternate reality Alteans, there hasn't been another alternate reality episode. Sure, they've been into the space between realities since then, but not to another actual reality. It'd be kind of disappointing if they only had alternate reality characters in one episode. So this could be another alternate reality episode, and these alternate reality generals. In the other trailer, a Galra ship grapples onto the Yellow Lion. Hunk says he's never seen weapons like these before.
I've never seen the Galra use weapons like these before.
At least not from the mainstream Galra Empire. Now, I definitely do think the Galra have some new weapon upgrades. With Sendak in charge and potent quintessence going around, new weapons are to be expected. But we also know that Lotor's team used these kind of weapons before, the kind that could latch onto things. So what if the generals are involved with this? The ship we see shooting out this beam doesn't have the same color scheme as the basic Galra fighters we see attacking the Paladins at other points in the trailer. It has the color scheme of Lotor ships. Imagine if Lotor's back already. On the other hand, since the Galra as a whole have upgraded their weapons, they definitely could have upgraded some ships' looks too. They did do that with their sentries. Or another way they could meet with the Paladins aside from what I've already said, could be because they end up in the same place as the Paladins. The team here is going up to see something and looking concerned. What if it's the generals? Lance using his rifle on Earth. He's using the red Bayard, not the blue Bayard, making me wonder if the pink Bayard doesn't show up until later in the season, or if it was a mere colouring error. Voltron is flying. There's an aqua colour tint to everything. Sometimes when people or things go fast in Voltron, the background changes to this style. That could be what's going on here, though another option for why the background looks like this could be because they're still going through this energy area. Allura is using her powers once again. She's in the cave they were in the other trailer, and the rest of the team's around her. She's punching the ground very hard. They may be trapped and she's trying to get them out of there. She's sending her power, whether that be a good thing or a bad thing, to whoever else is in the cave tunnels. Like this guy who is fighting Keith. She might be trying to attack this guy and their associates from where she is. Or she's giving them light / trying to track something. Hunk is in that cave too. And finally, Voltron fighting the Galra on Earth while dual-wielding swords. Since Voltron's dual-wielding swords, Lance and Keith probably both activated their Bayards. Their Bayards can both form swords. Anyway, that's about it for this trailer. I will definitely be making another video on the other trailer we got for Season 7, along with more news from SDCC. In fact, I started working on that video before this one. It's just taking a lot longer than I hoped it would. Season 7 comes out August 10th, and just from what we've seen of it so far, this looks like it will be a good season. But anyway, thanks for watching and stay hyped for Season 7.